Hello all, Alison here. Welcome back to Words and Pictures for some more tag time. Yes, after last week's books storytelling, turning of the pages, I'm back with some of the tag backgrounds we made. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it could be almost a year ago. Oh, I think they were part of the Simple Summer Stencil series. So yeah, they've got nice bits of shimmering gold embossing going on, or clear embossing, I think that may have been, or yeah, embossing glazes. A mixture of embossing glazes and gold shimmer. That one's clear embossing or embossing glazes, so again catching the light. And I just wanted to take one or two of these on to another stage. I was just looking at some paper dolls and wondering about that. Or oh, hang on, we've still got spring flowers, that leftover die cut from the other day. I wonder if that's, oh no, not on that one. That's way too busy. You'll never see them. I'm not sure they go with gold because there's no gold going on. But this one might be a thing. I mean, I quite like. They'd be good against a plain background for sure. That's always a possibility. Let's have a look. Got one of the collage backgrounds from the other day, so one could cut that into a tag shape and maybe have a look at that. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm gonna take some of this. It's almost the same height as a tag. And which bits do I want? It's a bit annoying, there's that strong line right down the middle. I could make it a very thin tag, but then this will be, half of that will be lost over the top of it. Let me just look at that and see if I like it. I do quite like it. Now let me look at this and see if I like it. I think I like that better. I think it's got more relationship colour-wise, and my plan, as I think I said weeks ago, is to create a kind of roundedness here, which I think means you see lots of that. I'm gonna have a play with that. You two I'm quite enjoying. So yeah, we might come back and do paper dolly sort of things in the next tag time. I'll keep all these around on the desk. But I think for today, I think it might be to do with this. I'm just wondering whether what I want from this is maybe a silhouette bird. I could cut a silhouette bird. Oh, hang on. More leftovers on the table. Where are they? Yeah. So we've got a silhouette bird. Oh, look. See, that's quite nice, isn't it? Just a kind of him down there looking upwards. In which case, maybe the roundedness is not so good because he'll be at an angle. So if I round this, he's going to end up on that curvy bit. So you absolutely can do this. I've done it on previous tags. I think there's a short with those, which I'll try to link if you haven't seen it. But it's just a question of fold it over and tape or glue down there. Shape it as you want it. Fold it over and tape or glue down there. If you feel that it's a bit too fragile, you can put a little bit of sponge in here. Something to just prop that up. But I'm starting to think I want to go, as we did with the previous one, maybe straight across, but with it sticking forwards and up again, so that he can perch himself there, kind of looking up and across at something over here. Is it his pal? No, because he can't hover in midair. That's no good. That looks ridiculous. But it might be a question of popping a branch there and cutting another bird, or maybe it's that simple. Leftover die cuts and a tag background. What could be quicker? Let me just go and have a fish around for anything else I might have around to add to the mix. Okay, so the most I've come up with is that maybe I want to layer this up with a bit of dimension. So I've got some padded tapes here. I'm thinking I maybe want him also to come forward a bit. Why won't you come off the surface? So yeah, creating a little bit of dimension like so. And yes, I've been pulling dried flower seed heads out of my stash again. I've got a bit of moss, both in neutral and in green. It's a very dark green though, isn't it? It's going to distract mightily. Decision to be made. Do I want the flowers all the way at the bottom, or do I want them up a little bit? I think we might go all the way at the bottom with this one. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do, these bits that I've been folding over, which are now just not very happy anymore, might just go. So I'm going to keep, there will still be some overlapping onto the edge of the tag, but those bits that I've been folding back and forth are now quite tired and falling off anyway. So we'll just do that in a slightly neater way, just with a curve. We'll do that in a slightly neater way with a curve. Good. Then I'm going to use padded tape to stick this down. So it's not something I do very often, but every now and then a little bit of padded tape can do wonders. It's usually too big for whatever I'm gluing down, so either I found these little tiny, teeny tiny squares somewhere down the line, or I just cut up whatever I've got. I'm hanging on to those teeny tiny ones because I think they're probably harder to get hold of than the standard size. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's already going to give us a nice, I'm just wondering whether it would be a good idea to just in a couple of places add some support. See, this is why you preserve the teeny tiny ones for the places where you really need the teeny tiny ones. So I think you'll be okay on there. I think you'll probably be okay maybe somewhere like that. What I want to be a bit careful of is anything I stick on the back here is maybe going to get in the way of sliding stems down into the mix. But I think it is just going to give us a bit of extra support in places, which would be a good thing. Because they are fragile. So this will be a tag that needs to not slide in and out of my tag crates, for instance. Right, I think we'll go with that. I think that might be enough. So then it's just peeling off the stickery bits. I do sometimes add a bit of extra glue to these because anybody who's used sticky pads will know they're not necessarily the stickiest thing in the world sometimes, particularly if they've been hanging around for a long time, which, let's face it, many things in my craft stash have been hoarded for years, awaiting their turn to come out and play. Have I already peeled that one up? No, there's definitely paper still on there, paper still on there. Yeah, so sometimes I get out some padded tape, try and stick it, and there's no stickability going on at all. But you can still use it. You can still use it for dimension just by putting a little dab of glue on either side. And yeah, I think I am going to just add a little support. So this is the Cosmic Shimmer, as usual. Great if you're in the UK. Anywhere else, you're just going to have to find yourself some acrylic glue to use. Did I say right at the bottom? Oh, look. Why can I see that? Oh, it's a it's a bit of paper, not a bit of sticky pad. Away you come. Good. Right to the bottom. Yes, I think right to the bottom in this particular case. So the places where I've got additional support, also get pressed. It's another bit of paper. Those sticky label papers trying to interfere. There's one. That's a useful one. See, I thought that might be a useful one. So it's just giving us that little bit of, oh, that's so cute. Good. And you, sir, are going to come down here and we'll position you maybe somewhere there, which means you really want a little bit of something to stand on. If I ever want to be able to stand this tag on a shelf, I need you a little higher up so that your tail isn't sticking off the bottom, but I don't like you there. I like you there. So for now, your tail gets a stay of execution, but in the long run, that might need to be snipped off. I'm just going to give you a little bit of design tape to stand on. so that you are earthed, rooted, grounded, not floating in midair, hovering. Let's get that. So as usual, my perpendicular ripping, just so that I create a little softer edge. I want that bit, or do I want that bit? I think I want that bit. That bit's folded over. Just a little bit of, so the design tape is slightly translucent, and then I'm going to add a little bit, just kind of like that, and that's going to need trimming, but that's fine. There we are, just a little something for you to stand on. Okay, yeah, I like that. And then all it is to decide what it is he's looking at up there. It might be as simple as the words. Let's slide a couple of these stems in and see what we think. So one of the reasons I like these is he's brown and they're sort of a soft brown as well. So there's a colour relationship. The bright colour of the background, certainly the bright colour of the flowers, just combined with those neutrals of the bird and of the stems is quite pleasing to my eye. Because after all, my first love really is neutrals, not brights. I'm enjoying exploring brights, especially since it's springtime. That seems like the right sort of time to explore brights if you're going to. But it's rather nice just to have those neutral elements that make me happy at the same time. Just wondering if it's worth tucking one so that it comes either here at the side, quite like that, or through the middle was what I was wondering. Oh, that's quite nice. I haven't stuck him down yet, so I've still got the option to... Don't think it wants all of that, so maybe just snip off that side bit. Tuck that in there. Oh, behave. I want you to go in that direction. Again, maybe it's... Let's have a look at the little one. Maybe it's a little teeny tiny one. Oh. No, got lost. That is quite nice. Oh, that's quite nice in there, just in the background. Good. So some simple gluing for those. I think we're gonna want the tweezers in play. So for you, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the back of each of these heads, like that. And then slide it back in. And we had one each side, didn't we? Move across. You've just wiped your glue everywhere, haven't you? So now you're not going to stick. Behave. There we go. You there, you there. You're on some glue. You're not on some glue. So let's just pop a bit of glue behind there. Good. Then on these, it's a question of trying to spot which are the bits that are making contact, and it's actually the stem down here. So I'm going to try and slide some glue along the stem and just slide that back in to make contact with the background. There we go. Oh, there's two bits in here. Well, maybe that's too much. Let's start with you. Slide some glue down the stem. A little bit on the backs of a couple of those because they might make contact as well. That's good. I like that one. I think we might want one coming out this way. So now I'm not going to position them and try. I'm just gonna go like so. In you go. And one coming out this way. Yep, that'll do it. The dimension of that is just enchanting to me. Oh, I forgot I hadn't glued the bird down. Okay, you get to be glued down next. I think that wants to be just on there. So a little bit of glue under this head to just keep that in position. Okay, now I'll wave it around so you can have a look at those flower heads. I wonder, do we want any poppies? How do we feel about poppies? Poppy seed heads. That's too big. Oh, now I've knocked these out of the way. Come back. All is forgiven. Let's give you some glue again. Tweezers. Maybe this is trying to tell me it doesn't want to be there. Is that what this is? Is this a message? No, I like you there. You're staying. Little poppy seed heads. Oh, come back. Let's try you, but with a shorter stem. Yeah, I do quite like that. It's supposed to be a rule of 3, isn't it? You're supposed to want 3 of a thing. Oh, so maybe that one's gluing in the foreground. Yes, it does. But then how does that? Or maybe it will, because it's got this kink in the stem, maybe one could put it behind, but still have it come forward enough. Let's have another look at our bird. Check he still wants to be there. Yeah, see, now he's looking at the poppies. Okay, so I'm just going to put a blob of glue behind each poppy seed head, because that's what I wanted, and that really should be enough to hold them in place. As long as I say, I'm careful with the storage and how I treat this tag. That should do the job nicely. I'm just maybe going to give him a little extra inking around the edge so that he pops a bit. And then, as I say, I want to mount him on some more padded tape so that he comes forward. So this is Scorched Timber, the blackest of the browns. Absolutely brilliant colour. Gives you that definition with a blending tool around the edge to just allow him to pop that little bit more. Let's get the belly. Bring him into focus. See how that works? Yes, very nice. I'm going to want him a little further over, I think. Sort of there. Sort of there. Padded tape. So where can he... There's quite a lot of solid plant matter here that he can stick to. Yeah, okay. Let's see what we've got. I think you could probably manage a big one, couldn't you? Yes. You've got room for a large. And then maybe we put a couple of smalls on the head. And heading down towards the tail. That'll do. It's kind of tough to get anything on his feet, which is a bit of a pity. Let's see if we can cut a sliver of one of these that will just give us... I'm not sure which way up that is now. Not sure which way is sticky or not. I need that to be less visible or sort of earthy. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of the scorched timber as well, because the white I think will take the eye, but that should be acceptably invisible. So that now does need glue. And these want peeling. So fiddly, but worth it, I think, in the end. You can see that's coming away. Little tiny dot of extra glue on each of those, I think. So now the positioning is going to be key. Where his beak lands needs to be sort of over that pink flower. This might be one to hang from an Easter tree, I think. Springtime perfection. Does it want words? I think if we tilt him a little bit, he'll look up towards those poppies. There we are. Lovely. And if I hang it, of course, that means I don't need to cut his tail off, which seems like cruelty. Don't want to cut his tail off. I'm enjoying that little springtime tag rather a lot. Let me see. Words or no words. I might just grab my springtime stamp sets and see if there are any words that grab my eye there. I might have a little look at the clipping stickers. I might have a little look at the small talk stickers and see if there's anything that makes me think yes. Still slightly in two minds. There's A Light Exists in Spring on here, which is Emily Dickinson. I'm wondering whether that's maybe stamped on the bottom of this mop-up of the other die cut that was left over the other day. Life's Alive in Everything is also one of the options. But then I looked in the clipping stickers and found The Beauty of This Life. So Life's Alive in Everything was my favourite up to that point. There's another one about life here, The Beauty of This Life, which I just had a little look at. I tried it there. Oh, tweezers. I tried it over here, but I don't think it's that. I think it might be tucked in there. Just as a little bit of found poetry. The Beauty of This Life. Let's have a look at that. The other option, there's another option. There's always another option. Is not at all, of course. Or down here. No, I don't like that. That's too heavily down here. I think there's something about it here that quite makes me happy. Just tucked away. I might just gently edge it. Don't want to go as dark as Scorched Timber, I don't think. But maybe a little bit of Frayed Burlap would be the thing, which should help it tie in with the colour of the poppy seed heads and things. Look at my fingertips. That Scorched Timber makes it look like I've been digging around in the earth, which is also on the menu, of course, this time of year, is a lot of digging around in the earth. So it's not an unusual look for my fingers at this time of year. It's quite hard to balance filming with gardening, because most of the time my hands are in a complete state. Yes, I think I like that. It is a sticker, but I'm going to put a little extra glue on it because I've been peeling it on and off now. And so the gluiness of it, the stickiness of it, is less than premium. And it's just a little subtle bit of words to go with the pictures. So I will dive in for a close-up. I've just noticed we haven't used the mat at all today. So yeah, you finally found a place. You haven't yet. Let's just check you don't no that would be way too much. So you're still hanging on. You'll find your place one of these days. And yeah, the dimension of that is a very happy thing. Thanks so much for your company today, and I hope you'll be inspired to have a play. Do leave any comments or questions down below, and leave me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. If you haven't already subscribed, of course, do subscribe, and you'll enjoy, I hope, lots more crafty creative content, even if it's as simple as taking scraps and leftovers, a background we made ages ago. I'll link to that video as well, and just playing with springtime colours. Thanks so much for your company, and happy crafting all.